Hello, great to see you. Welcome back to the Kenya Times. It's always a pleasure joining you in these conversations. Today's interview is going to focus on resilience and hope. Imagine donating one of your kidney to one of your son. Then 26 years later, he died. This is the story of my guest today, who at one point served as the Commissioner for Electoral Commission of Kenya, the now IEBC. Now, follow us throughout this conversation. I'm your host, Nixon Jau. Welcome to the Kenya Times.
Thank you so much, Nixon. Yes, I'm happy to be here. And I am Felicita Churie. I'm a teacher by profession. And I'm so happy to share my story with you. As I said, I'm a teacher. I went to school at Loreto Limuru. Then I went to Kenyatta College before it was the university. Then I was posted to High Ridge Teachers College, where I was for 10 years. But in between, I got a scholarship to go to the University of Edinburgh, Scotland, at the Jamhuri High School of Education to study teaching of English as a second or foreign language and departmental organization. So that is in brief about myself. And the story today is more about being a kidney donor.
True.
And one thing I'm very happy about is that I know in Kenya we have the Kenya Organ and Tissue Transplant Authority that deals with the tissue and organ transplantation. And I really wish them really well. And my main interest is that people must be informed. Being a donor should not be feared, but understood. Because my experience was, how can you give a kidney? Because that issue has both spiritual, cultural, medical, and everything around it. Because culturally, nobody understands why I would really be removed a kidney and put in someone else. Spiritually, are you giving, what are you giving? Are you giving a soul or are you giving life? Are you God? I got those questions. And I feel that kidney disease is an extremely expensive disease, which can be dealt with. Because in my case, my son was discovered when one kidney had already been destroyed. And we thought he would live on the other one, which was okay. But the doctor said, like our eyes, when one eye tears, the other one sympathizes, it tears also. So chances were, even that one other kidney was going to be affected, which sure it was affected. And so we had to really prepare for the transplant. But as for me as a donor, I was very happy by what the doctors did. And I decided I am not going to have the kidney done outside the country. It had to be done in Kenya.
And Felicita,
yes.
we will talk on that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we will go through on that.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, let's go back to the factory setting. Where was Felicita Churie born and brought up at early age?
Oh, okay. Well, I was born at Kerarapon, which is just near Ngong. Kerarapon is not very far from here. You see, we have Ngong Road here. So before you reach Ngong, there is the KBC station. You go in 2 miles. I was born there, I grew up there, and I went to Kerarapon Primary School. But I went to school very late, because during my time, boys were given priority. I went to school when I was almost 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I went to Kerarapon Primary, which was next to us. From there I went to Ngong Intermediate School, which was a Catholic school. The primary was a Protestant school, and we were the only Catholics in that area. So after standard 4, we used to have an exam, the common entrance. And we had to do that common entrance, especially the nature study paper, in our mother tongue. So from there I went to Ngong. I passed very well. I went to Ngong Catholic Intermediate. I was the only girl in standard 5, second term. I was the only girl among 39 boys. Because the other girl who was with me first and second term got married. So I was the with the boys up to class 8.
The only girl.
The only girl. But you know, I didn't even realize that the others were boys.
Yeah.
I realized when I went to Loreto Liburu, people she used to be the only girl in the class. I said, yeah, by the way, because the punishment, everything were all grouped together.
And it was the same.
It was the same. So we started building resilience then. Tough, punishment, carrying water for teachers, bringing firewood for teachers, kneeling down the whole day, carrying stones on your hands. So after standard 8, I went to Loreto Limuru. Yeah. That
was 19?
Now, I went to school 1954. I am 80 years old. I was 80 in May.
Wow.
I was born 1945. And one day after the Second World War peace, I went to school at the end of 1954 because I ran away from home. I went to school late in August. Then I went to primary, to the intermediate, 1957. Then 61, I went to Loreto Limuru, up to 65. 66, I went to Kenyatta College. Then Kenyatta College was 3 years.
Now it's called Kenyatta University.
Now it is Kenyatta University. Then it was Kenyatta College. Then after I did my teaching course, I was posted to High Ridge Teachers College. I was the teacher of the year. In fact, I was told, choose where do you want us to post you. I said, post me to High Ridge. Because when I finished Form 4, my parents said, no, you must be a teacher. I hated being a teacher because my father was a teacher. And as a teacher's child, you had to behave in a particular way. I went first I went to High Ridge to train as a P1 teacher. I almost went into depression because I had passed my Form 4 very well. But lucky enough, one time I just came, I was called, the Ministry of Education is here. The van is here, it's going to transfer you to Kenyatta College. So I went to Kenyatta College. After 3 years, of course, I got married. And I was in High Ridge Teachers College for 10 years. But in between is when I won the scholarship.
All right.
Then, when I came back from Scotland, I went back for 5 years. This is when I was thinking, as I said, I was trying to get a place for my children to go to school. And the school that I wanted to go was so competitive. I decided, no, I'm going to resign and I'm going to teach there. And that was Loreto Convent Valley Road Secondary School. I went there. I was appointed as the deputy. I was the first lay person to be a deputy. I was there 81 to 92. 93, I was called and I was asked by the nuns, would you like to start a computer college for us in Musongari? I said, of course. And yet I had no clue about computer.
Even an idea?
No idea. But I had this experience of having taught in a college, at High Ridge Teachers College. So I went to Musongari and I started simple packages, simple secretarial skills, bridging course in maths of those who had done very well in maths, but they had very good grades, but maths, they didn't do well. We had a bridging course in maths. Then we approached JKUAT and we said, can we offer you a degree in information technology? It was a process because at that time, universities were not offering any program outside their campuses. We even had to have a clause looked at in Parliament to allow us to offer their degrees. And they agreed, so we started offering a degree program jointly with them. The college did very well. I was there for 10 years. Then I thought, now, this college is doing so well, this is the right time to leave.
To left.
And I left. I went to Compuera. They wanted me to start some programs for them. I was there for 2 years and I started some programs for them. Then Kiriri Women's University asked me, can you come and be our project coordinator? We really need somebody to help us. And I went there. I was at Compuera for 2 years. I went to Kiriri in January 2006. And at the end of 2006, we prepared the first 6 students to graduate. All right? 2007, 16th of January, is when I was appointed into ECK then.
All right.
By the late President Kibaki. Yeah.
So that has been your journey.
That has been my journey.
And you are 80 years right now.
Yes.
I think you have to give us the secret, together with my Gen Z crew,
Okay.
of living long.
Living long. Oh yeah, you have a long
with
life.
energy like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So now, let's now begin about your son,
Yes.
Tobiko.
Right.
How did the journey begin?
Yeah, Tobiko was a very active boy. He was so athletic, and he was a swimmer. He was everything. And he went to Hospital Hill Primary, very playful. And he passed very well.
Was he your firstborn?
Yes, he was born March 20th, 1968. That time we were staying in Githunguri because that's where the father was working. But then we moved into Nairobi. And he passed his standard 7 exam very well, in spite of being so playful. He had always wanted to go to Jamhuri High School. And I took him where he wanted. And in Form 1, he started feeling tired. And he started losing appetite. And he started saying he has a backache. And I thought, perhaps because he used to carry heavy books. And that went on, and he kept on going to this particular hospital.
How many years was he?
He was in Form 1. How old is that?
16, around 16?
If they do 7, well, they go to school at 6. Then he had done 7 years education, that's 13. It started about when he was about 14.
14 years.
So he was going to this very big hospital, a very known hospital in Kenya, a very big private hospital. He went to that hospital for 2 years, and they couldn't tell what was wrong. Until one day I told the father, by the way, this boy's feet look swollen. And then the father called him and said, hey, how come your feet look swollen? He said, oh, I played too much football. I said, no. Another time he woke up in the morning, I could see his eyelids look puffed up, swollen. I said, the father, please, next time you go to the doctor, just point out, his feet seem swollen, his eyes seem swollen. Let's find out, because all this time they didn't know what it was. And he was still going down. He was even losing breath. Now he couldn't even go upstairs easily. When he went there and the father said, I told the doctor, you know, the mother is saying this and that. So the doctor said, okay, let us do all the blood tests. Goodness. When the blood results came, he was losing protein in urine. There was a problem with creatinine and uric acid and all that. So they said, now this is a kidney issue. When the father came and told me the result, I was so upset. I told the father, we are not going back to that hospital. 2 years, he's been going there, and we were never told what it was. I am changing the hospital.
And there was no results, no improvement.
Yes. So we changed and went to this other hospital. We went to Aga Khan Hospital, and we got a kidney specialist, the late Professor Abdallah. So Abdallah looked at the x-rays, and one kidney was already black. The other one looked very clean. And he told me, you know, the one kidney is gone, the other one is okay, but chances are this one might affect this one, because it's just like our eyes, when one starts tearing, the one, so it will sympathize. Let me tell you, the boy was in and out of hospital. By then he was in Form 3. You know, we went to this hospital for 2 years, and the teachers were very understanding. So he did his Form 4 very well, and he passed very well. And
Which grade?
I think he got a very strong second.
Wow.
But he did very well in maths and economics. So Strathmore took him. But before Strathmore took him, they all had to do interview because the number was very high. And he went through even the Strathmore interview. He went in for maths and economics. He was still very sick. And so he was taken to Kenyatta University. He went there to do business, Bachelor of Arts Business. He was doing maths, economics, and business studies. He went there in 1987. By the end of 87, the doctors told me, hey, we are really not doing so well. 89, the doctors warned me and told me, at this rate, I think we'll need a kidney transplant. Immediately, I told the doctor, please, I am ready to offer. I did my hand like this. Can you check whether we are compatible? Because I was so tired now. And the doctor said, no, we need a lot of discussion on this. We need the whole family to be here. I said, I go home and I tell my people about giving a kidney. They will wonder what's wrong with this woman.
They will not agree.
They will not agree. They will not even understand. This is a very new thing. So the doctor said, are you sure? I said, yeah, just give me the tests. Let me tell you, the tests that were done at Aga Khan, so many. Others were sent out to Germany, others to South Africa at that time. I was admitted in Aga Khan, I was admitted in Nairobi Hospital. Then we did so many tests. Both of us had to go to Kemri.
That is 1999.
Yeah, towards the end now. And the beginning of 1990, went to Kemri, all the tests were ready. We were completely, I think there were 4 major tests, and we were 92% compatible. So the tests were ready, and I said I would like it done before. He was so paranoid about dialysis. So we agreed, let's prepare as fast as possible, and we do the transplant before he goes through the dialysis. But then the doctor said, okay, we will do that, but he must have a shunt. If you look at his picture in the book, you'll see there's something black here,
True.
A band. That band is covering the shunt, where they joined 2 veins, and if anything happened, they were going to use that vein to do dialysis.
Okay.
But thankfully, he didn't need it. So 1990, June 13th.
And was the father around?
No, the father unfortunately passed away in 1985. 2 years, immediately we found out he had a kidney problem. He had an accident.
Sorry.
Yeah, so he passed away. In fact, this year, October 19th, it will be 40 years since he died.
The 40th anniversary.
Yeah. Okay. So we really got together and organized. We went in June 13th. The kidney was done by our local team, very big team of surgeons, anesthetists, physicians, renal nurses. We were occupying 2 theaters. He was in one theater, I was in another one. They started with me, and then later with him. And the transplant was done. Yeah.
And what was in your mind then?
I was so set, I was so relieved when it was done, because I was so tired watching how sickly he was. And I was so worried that if he went lower than what he was in health, then he wouldn't cope with anesthesia. You know, they give them the medicine to sleep for the operation. And you know, you have to be strong enough to wake up. So that was worrying me. And I was worried in case I also developed pressure or something, then I was not going to be a donor. Yeah. So to me, I was too tired. I just wanted it done before things changed.
And were there any moment of hesitation or fear before deciding to donate?
No. No. And I did not want stories. I avoided stories because everybody was a specialist. And I knew nobody had had the same experience. But you know what I did? I contacted people who had gone through a transplant. I was given a contact of someone in Germany who had gone through a kidney. And I called him at night through a landline. I was prepared to foot that. So I called him, and he was extremely nice. He said, yes, I went through a transplant 3 years ago. I am back to my job, and I travel a lot.
And he's living a normal life.
Yeah, and I feel very sad because I never went back to him to tell him ours was done and we are doing well. But the stories weren't as successful as that here. A lot of people, you know, because we didn't have many kidney transplants then.
True.
And so there wasn't so much to learn from. But I bought that book by Richard Leakey, One Life. Richard Leakey had had his kidney transplant in London, 1979. So I read that book. I got a lot of information. I had read so much about kidney transplant. And one thing that really comforted me, there was a case. The first kidney transplant was done in 1954. I read that story in the Reader's Digest. And that doctor who did that transplant, I think died, is it this year or last year? I was reading about him. So I had read a lot, but I did not want stories from people. No. Because I just felt I will be derailed.
So what was on your mind was just to save your son, Tobiko.
Yes, I was so decided to fight that disease. It was as if I was fighting a physical thing. Yes.
And what was on his mind as well, Tobiko? At that moment,
I
did
think,
he told you, Mom, there's no need
he was,
for
one thing I knew, he felt very sad because the disease really curtailed a lot of his activities. He didn't know what to expect. He didn't know what was going to happen. But the doctors were so good. They had really, they had really given us all the necessary information. They were very, very frank.
And supportive.
They said it will work. But there are chances, 50-50 of kidney rejection. But we have prepared. We are prepared to deal with it. So, we might get this. They were very frank. And they were very supportive. The hospital was fantastic. Yeah.
So after the transplant happened at Aga Khan.
Yes.
So how was life after that?
Oh, it was the first 3 months, nobody came to our house. It was only me and him because they had suppressed his immunity completely.
What about the siblings?
No, they had to move out. They had to move out to go and... My big daughter was now, the second born was at the university. The small one, who is 6 years younger than the sister, had to go and stay with a friend. It was only the two of us, and I had somebody coming to clean the house. But any time he came at the gate, I would check, do you have a cold? Una homa? Because nobody came into the house. He had no immunity because he was given a lot of immunosuppressants so that the body does not fight the kid. Because the body is very sensitive. Have you ever noticed even a piece of hair touching your skin, you'll feel it?
True.
So the same thing, although we were very compatible, still the body knows there's a stranger there. So for 3 months, nobody came home. And for those 3 months, today we go to the physician. He gives us a lab test form. Tomorrow we go to the lab. The third day we go to the surgeon to check whether there are any clots. We went to hospital until I could go there with my eyes closed. But after 3 months, they started reducing the immunosuppressants. And he was also gaining strength and and energy. But it took time. But then I find the drugs then were more harsh than they are now. I think they have really improved on them. Medicine really grows every day. I think during that time they were very harsh because they also had side effects, Yeah. But he did very well for 26.5 years. He did, yeah. And it's not even the kidney that killed him. It's an infection.
It is another issue.
Yeah, he had, yeah. But you see, it is a side thing because he didn't have immunity. So the little infection he got, knocked him.
So during donation, they removed one of his kidney that was not working.
If you look at this book, there's a picture showing that unless the kidneys had problems, they leave them as they are. But what happened, they cut his left-hand side because his right-hand side, he had, they had removed his water. What is the appendix? So they removed that one and they put it here on the left-hand side above the groin. The two kidneys are at the back. They leave them there because they have other functions. They have very many functions, by the way. Kidneys have very many functions.
So what the professionals did was just to remove yours and
attach to the main arteries and the vein in him.
Okay.
Yes, because in this book there is a picture that shows how it is, and I don't know whether you want to see it or you see it later.
Our audience we will reflect to our audience later.
Okay.
So after that, after 3 months, how was life for Tobiko?
Was
he able to do his own activities very well?
Yeah, he tried. He took time, and he even got a job, as in the marketing section of Kenya Tea Development Authority. He did very well, but I noticed his moods and what were changing. So I said, take it easy. Because he went into a bit of depression, and that had to be dealt with. But he was cured. So I told him, take it easy. So he used to do a lot of research work for me, because I do a lot of management training, and I'm a teacher and what. So he would do that for me. So I told him, take it easy. And it was only the two of us in the house, because their sisters are away. So he was fine. You can see he was very well. Of course, you could see he has this bit of weight, but because of the steroids.
True.
Yeah, the immunosuppressants are steroids. Yeah, he was fine. And he was so grateful. He was so grateful that he had lived longer with a donated kidney than even when he was living with his own. Yeah.
And for you? You never had any condition until today?
No.
At the age of 80?
The only change is that my remaining kidney grew. It became big to cope with the, now to cope with what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I go for all tests, 6 months, 1 year. That one I am, but I take it easy. One thing, I don't go where there are crowds, too many people. I avoid visiting people in hospitals. I watch what I eat, what I do. I go to the gym from time to time.
Oh, you go to gym?
Oh, yeah.
Even today?
Of course. But not so regular, but yes. I go.
Yeah. Once in a while.
Oh, yeah, I go.
Okay.
So I'm very careful what I eat. And I drink a lot of water, and so I live very simple life.
And I think that is the secret
now very simple
of how
life.
You are today.
Yeah.
Very energetic, healthy.
Very simple
at the age
life.
of 80.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is why I wrote that the veiled investment to celebrate my 80th birthday. Yes.
And maybe what do you wish you had known before donating your kidney?
What do I need to know? I don't think there's anything that I needed to know. No. Because at that time, but I think sometimes we need to be very careful about our thoughts. I don't know whether you have read the book, The Secret. It says, thoughts become things. I was always paranoid about kidney disease because I had seen my cousin who used to be sick with kidney. I was so afraid, and I ended up with one. Whether it's my thoughts or what, but I think I'm okay. I don't think there's anything I wished I knew. No, but perhaps when my son complained about his backache, 2 years was too long trusting at one place. Yeah, we should have. And I have said in my paper that people being checked early, whether you are sick or not, you'll see it in my paper, is very necessary. Yeah.
And maybe how did your family and maybe the community responded to the decision you made then?
Well, they were puzzled, they kept quiet. My children, of course, they were very surprised, but they felt sad about their brother. My personal friends, my women friends, you know, when you become a widow, sometimes you lose some friends. But my personal good friends were extremely supportive. Those who were with me all along, I mean, up to even his funeral, you know. The others were busy with their lives. The shock they got was, he has gone through a kidney transplant. Why hasn't he started working? I mean, it was done last month.
Why is he doing his activities?
What is he at home? And then they said, why isn't he marrying? You should get a girl for him to get married. You know, what are you waiting for? Nenda, go to Masaini and and arrange. Get a girl. So the expectations from the family were very high and not encouraging. To me, he never told me he wanted to get married. If he had brought me a girl and said, I'm interested here, I wouldn't have. But the expectation was he should go out and work and get married and get on with his life. But it wasn't that way. In fact, what I would advise families who have kidney patients, they have to be very patient and to take it easy. It's not an easy thing. It's very hard on the patient as well as also the people living with that patient. It's not easy. Give it time. I think life is more than just going there and making money. Let somebody just take their time, get well. If they can work, fine. If they can't work, help them.
And there is a perception that, you know, when you donate your kidney,
yes,
you might end up as well facing the conditions.
Yes, 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 yes.
How do you address that?
That
perception,
yeah,
the fact that you are one of the results who are just...
Because I know the doctors preparing somebody for a transplant and somebody identifying a donor, they don't take chances. The test that one goes through, I can tell you, they not only check whether the person is healthy, they also check, if we remove this kidney, are we going to trigger any underlying problems? Because sometimes, you know, you can do an operation and some underlying conditions are triggered. They even check even that. It's an exercise that is very thorough, very, very thorough. So nobody should fear being a donor. The doctor will tell you, you are not suitable, you are suitable, and, you know, I'll be very surprised if the trend has changed. Because during my time, we went through it very, very thoroughly. Yes.
And maybe what are some of the symptoms that it is a first spot to realize that maybe this person is suffering from a kidney failure?
Okay, first of all,
for the sake of our audience.
Yeah, now let me go back and say, when I was told my son has kidney problem, I asked the doctor, what caused it? What caused it? And the doctor said it is streptococci. That is a bacteria that affects the throat. The doctor said he either had a sore throat that was treated or untreated, and the toxins, as a result of that, the toxins went and destroyed the kidney. This is why I advise parents and everybody that don't take sore throat for granted, especially sore throat in children, because his was caused by that. So that sore throat must have, I mean, he must have been treated because we were always going for clinics, we were going for this, but I don't know. Of course, when a child is so healthy, later on you forget all that. So I was told, it was confirmed that it was a sore throat. Then, as I said, with time, I noticed his body when he was in the nursery school. He seemed tiny, not too, you know, although he was very active, but he looked tiny. Of course, he grew up. And then, of course, as I said, he was so athletic, but he started getting tired. He started, you know, as I said, now his appetite was terrible. He never used to eat well. The appetite was very low. What else? Then now, in the final stages, when I noticed the feet were swelling and the eyes were swelling. Yeah.
What a story.
Really.
And from then, maybe would it, through your decision, for the sake of our audience, maybe what really later led to his death? And
yes. He lived a very happy life after that. As I said, I used to do a lot of management training. He would do all the research for me. The vomiting stopped, but I saw he wasn't himself. He used to wake up early and would get the newspaper and read all the sports. But now he would wake up, take his medicine, and go back to bed. That was Saturday now. Sunday, I was upstairs. I had him having his medicine. He went back to sleep. I came, I sat at the table, and I said, what's happening? About 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock, I went to his room.
That is
2016, October.
All right.
30th, a Sunday. I went to his bedroom. I found him, he was sleeping facing the wall. I told him, hey. And when I walked in, I could see his breathing was not regular. I don't know.
It was not normal.
I think God must have inspired him because breathing is, you don't see somebody breathing. But me, I saw. His breathing was not regular. It was not consistent. I said, hey, how are you feeling? I told him, you know what? Let me call the doctor, because he really liked his doctor. Let me call him. He might just give you an injection. We come back home. Because he didn't want to be admitted. He said, okay. I called the doctor. The doctor said, oh, has he agreed? I said, yes. And I told him, doctor, let's not meet in your surgery. Let's meet at the emergency, Aga Khan. So he said, the doctor to ask me, where will you pass? Because that day we had was it the standard marathon? I said, I will organize. I went down quickly. I called the Red Cross ambulance. I rang once and they picked the call. And I told them, I'm in Highway Estate, South Sea. Kindly send me an ambulance immediately. They said, oh, is the patient conscious? I said, he's okay. Just bring the ambulance. So I came back. He told me, oh, shall I wear shoes? I said, no. I said, just wear whatever. Just get ready. We are going just now. He woke up. He changed. He wore his shoes. He opened the gate. The ambulance was already there. I quickly packed his medicine because I knew he wouldn't come back home. He will be admitted. And I packed everything. And in the ambulance, I could see the nurse was trying to get his pressure. And she kept on tightening the band. And the boy said the band is too tight because the nurse couldn't get the pressure. The pressure was just going down, down, down. And when we reached the hospital, he was okay. He woke up. He said, where do I put my slippers, my shoes? I said, just bring them. I'll put them in my handbag.
He was still jovial.
Yeah. He came down. His own doctor was there. The doctors on duty were there. The nurses were there. He was taken into the emergency immediately. And he told his doctor, I am very sick. The doctor said, we are here. So straight away, he was put on drips to raise his pressure. And the doctor told me he's very sick. They put him on oxygen to raise the pressure. I was given a prescription to go and bring medicine from the pharmacy because they said he had an infection. I ran. I brought the medicine. It was put in the drip. And so the doctor told me, go and book high dependency room. So I went to the cashier. And as we were discussing, they are arguing about the prices and what, the doctor comes and tells me he has had a cardiac arrest. So I said, doctor, what could we have done without you? I'm glad he's here with us. So the doctor didn't even wait for me to finish. He left him and he went back. I paid the deposit. I got my receipts. And as I was running towards emergency, lights were flickering. Machines were beeping. The curtains had been drawn. And they were trying to resuscitate him. Mm-hmm. I came in, I walked through, I went outside, I raised my hands and I said, Ashindwe, meaning may the devil be defeated. Then I saw a nurse sitting at the computer and I said, do you have a priest in this hospital? She said, I can call one for you. I said, please do quickly. Here, they're trying to resuscitate him. I'm trying to call friends, they are not picking. I wrote a message to my daughter that we are in this hospital. Then, within 15 minutes, he came back and the priest came. And the priest said, I'm Father Delphina, I'm from Tanzania, I've been sent by St. Francis Xavier Parish. I said, wonderful. By that time, one of my daughter's friends was with me. I could see my son, he was lying. I could see only the feet because the curtains had been drawn. I said, that's my son. I'm glad you have come. His father also came from Tanzania. Oh, good. So he went inside the curtain to anoint him. My son had come back. So he was anointed. The priest came out. We held hands with him and the friend. We prayed and he left. Exactly 2 minutes. You know, 2 minutes past 3, he slipped off. We had left the house at 12:30. By 1, we were already in the hospital. 2 minutes past 3, he just slipped off. And the doctor called my daughter and said, this has happened. And the curtains, of course, I was asked, yes, what do you know? I was told, he has died 24 hours before admission. This is a police case. You have to go and get a clearance from police. I said, how do you do that? He said, there are some forms you will take to a police station to be cleared. So my friend took all those forms. He was just covered and left there.
And things happened.
Things happened. So, so anyway, we rushed to the police station. And the policeman was very nice, in charge of the parklands. He looked at the letter and he said, I'm very sorry, Mama. He just signed. I went back. The hospital asked me, what are you planning? I said, about what? Are you going to leave him here or you want to transfer him? I said, where? He's been in this hospital since 1983. This is his home. Do you have a morgue? Yes. How long can he be here? As long as until you plan. I said, okay. They asked, do you want to see him? I said, no. Okay. So they pulled him. But I said, okay. They opened. Of course, he was there looking very peaceful. He was just pushed to the corner there before going to the morgue. And that is the basis for my book. Oh, it was a terrible.
May his soul continue resting in peace.
Yeah.
He fought a good fight.
Yeah, oh yeah, he did.
But according to the professional, it was not the issue of kidney.
It was an infection.
It was an infection.
But he didn't have enough immunity. Yeah, because he was on a lot of immunosuppressants. Yeah.
And that is why you wrote this book.
Now, this
I
book,
Once Had a Son, by Felicita Churie, the second edition.
Yes.
So this book talks of his journey.
Yes. And the main thing I wrote because I think I went in I just did not accept his death. It was too much. And I would like to advise people who are going to see those who are grieving. Sometimes it's even better just to be there. Don't say anything. Because people would tell me, oh, he's in a better place. Oh, I know how you are feeling. You don't know how I'm feeling. How do you know he's in a better place? Of course, we have faith. True. But when you are grieving, that faith, my God, I went through it. I almost went crazy. I was talking to everybody about my son until people were tired. So I just thought, let me sit and write. This is why I wrote this book.
And this is the book now.
This is the book I also wrote to just say how we have silent heroes in this country in form of doctors. Nobody talks about them.
And what do you have to say concerning our facilities here in Kenya?
First of all, we have brains. There's no doubt about it. The brains are there. The facilities may be limited. They may be very expensive, but the brains are there. And that's something we need to do something about. We need to do something about facilities. We need to do something about information. We need to educate people. And once we do all that, even the patients we take outside will be treated here. And we will save a lot of revenue. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, just because of time, it's been an amazing story.
You're
a story
welcome.
of hope.
Yes.
And I believe that our viewers will be so much encouraged
They are welcome.
and motivated.
Yes.
So, how can they find this book, I Once Said a Son, by Felicita Churie?
Yes. As I said, I first published it with Amazon. And there were requests here, oh, we are not on Amazon, we are not online. So I printed, and they are being sold at Nuria, Nuria Bookshop. Nuria is on Bazaar Mall, first floor, Biashara Street. I wrote the first one about his illness, his treatment. Then I wrote this other one about Tobiko and the Masai Room, about his life before he got sick.
Before he got sick.
Yes. So they are all available. And then when I became 80, I wrote about the veiled investment. This is a very good book as well.
What is it about?
It's about indirectly me as the veiled investment. If you look, there is Felicita Churie as the name, then below it, the veiled investment. I am trying to say what was life like 80 years ago, 1945 to 1925, to 2025. I said that you know, girls were observed as investment in dowry. And some of the dowries were endless. But you know, roles have really changed. On top of that, women are now taking on even more roles. They're the ones bankrolling families. They're the ones working along, of course, the men. And also the changes in the way life has been. During our time, it was obligations and responsibility. Now, it is what? It is rights and entitlement. So you see, life is very, very different. The culture now is really upside down.
It's transforming.
It's so much transformed. And you see, I feel very sorry for our young people. Because everybody is an auntie, everybody is an uncle, until you even wonder now, who is the real auntie?
Who is the real one? Who
is the real uncle? You know? And the child was brought by the village. Because I could correct someone's child. Now even a teacher can't touch anybody's child. So life is a little so different. They need to read that book to see what was life like. And there was so much order. It's not that I'm glorifying the past, but you learn the future from what happened in the past.
Yes.
And that's why it is all there.
Okay.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I believe that some of our viewers will go and buy the book.
Yes.
And get to learn from it.
Yes.
So thank you for coming.
But I had something small to say.
All right.
I would like perhaps to advise our decision makers that it should be mandatory that when children are small, there are facilities to check their health. Because when my children were in school, even when I was in school, the health personnel were always coming to school to check who has bad eyes, who has worms, who has what. Even when my children were in school, the health workers used to come. That should be a must. People should also be checked, pressure, sugar, without being charged. That way the health will improve. And also let the government try and have special areas for kidney is a very expensive disease. So if we have all the facilities upgraded and the personnel is supported, we will have even fewer people going out for transplant, and we will save more revenue here.
In our own country.
Yes, and there should be education, an ongoing education and advocacy.
Civil education.
Civil education about these major diseases. So that people are so informed. When you are going to work, there should be little camps. Hey, Nixon, let's see how your pressure is today. How is your sugar? And you are not charged. So that at least you know your condition.
True.
This should all be done. Yeah, because now there isn't much education. People go to hospital at the last stages of their pressure, of their, diabetes, which is a real major cause. So this is what my wish would be. Yeah.
So thank you for coming, and I believe your story is a story of hope.
Yeah. Oh yes.
That will motivate many.
Of course, of course.
Thank you.
No, you are most welcome.
That is where we conclude our conversation together with Felicita Churie right here in studio. Imagine her story, donating one of her kidney to his son. But she's now 80 years, surviving with one kidney.
Yeah.
What a motivation.
It is.
So that is where we conclude our conversation today right here in studio. See you in the next interview. I've been your host, Nixon Jau.